I see a lot of familiar faces out there. We've had this conference now for 10 years, and I don't think there's, frankly, anyone more excited than me to hear the different speakers over the years. And particularly this year, the roster of speakers is fantastic, and we appreciate them, all the speakers, for coming. And those that haven't participated in the conference before, welcome. You will, I think, learn much to prepare all of us for the challenges that are in the world economically and politically. And I want you to spend time in our 2 breaks that we have, to go and visit the exhibitors. They provide valuable information for us to migrate challenging, difficult times. Now we're doing something a little bit differently this year. We've invited you to join the conversation by sharing your thoughts and reactions over the course of the day by going to a Twitter account. This is a little new for me, too. We have a hashtag. I think it's up there. Hashtag, and I thought that was a pound sign, but I now understand that's hashtag. And that means something different for me, who went to Boulder. Hashtag. School in Colorado. That's hashtag BizTradeConf. We would like to encourage you to tweet remarks that you find especially insightful or notable. Also, on the next slide, we will have Q&A for some of our speakers. And on your tables, there's a card to write down your questions. We did this last year and send them up. And we have 2 individuals going to roam this big room. Do I see them? You'll see them. They'll walk around to pick up your card. Or you can also Twitter at ZionsBank. All right, so we'll see how that works. Anyway, to begin our conference, I would want you to welcome Scott Anderson, President and CEO of ZionsBank and Chair of the World Trade Center of Utah. Scott.
Well, I too want to welcome you to our 10th annual conference on trade and business. We're proud to have hosted this conference for the last 10 years, and I hope that those of you who have attended prior conferences have benefited from the information presented. I know that you'll enjoy and benefit from today's lineup of speakers. It just could not get better. It's an honor to have with us today President Uribe of Colombia. We are honored that he would join with us as we celebrate International Trade Week. He's a great champion and supporter of free trade agreements which benefit all of us. I also want to welcome to Utah and to our conference today Dr. Rebecca M. Blank, the Deputy Secretary of Commerce. We so appreciate the support and help that the Department of Commerce provides all of us as we try to be successful in our export business around the world. Harvard professor and ZionsBank Corporation board member, Dr. Roger Porter, when he heard that Dr. Blank was going to speak with us today, he said to me, "You cannot find a better or more articulate speaker. She knows what's happening, but what's more, she's in the middle of it all, making it happen for our benefit." So Dr. Blank, we appreciate you being here and we welcome you to Utah. And as Mark said, we wish we would have had a brighter, sunnier day. I also want to welcome Brett Stevens, the Foreign Affairs columnist and Deputy Editor of the Wall Street Journal, and Dan North, Senior Economist for Euler Hermes, North America's largest provider of trade credit insurance. Karen Mills, the Small Business Administration Administrator, wanted to be with us today but could not come, but she has recorded a message that will play from her later in the conference talking about the trade finance products that the SBA makes available to businesses throughout the country. We'll also be hearing tape messages from Senator Orrin Hatch and Representative Jim Matheson on the progress being made in Washington on getting free trade agreements with Colombia, Korea, and Panama. Later this morning, we'll be honoring Dr. Dwayne Ashmead, President of Albion Labs, as our global pace setter. And lastly, we'll have a presentation from John Dowden of the Bureau of Economic and Business Research at the University of Utah on the economic impact of Utah's international exports. A copy of this report is included in your folder, and this report was commissioned especially for this conference. Utah is a leader in any way you count it when it comes to international trade. The New Republic published an article recently about export strengths in Utah. Its headline read, "Utah is the place." It went on to highlight our entrepreneurial spirit, our international culture, our strength in language skills, and the public-private partnerships that drives our state's global success. I'd like to read you just a portion of this article. It said, "Utah's success is built fundamentally on a few basics: a talented, entrepreneurial, and globally minded workforce, vigorous industry clusters, strong institutions, and focused strategic policymaking in key realms. Utah's strategy is locally tailored to maximize success and to kickstart the sputtering economy. It sure does seem to us like there's something to be learned by looking at Utah." Utah indeed is the place, and we do have a lot to be proud of. For example, in 2009, Utah was the #1 state for export performance in the country and was designated by the U.S. Department of Commerce a foreign trade zone. And then in 2010, last year, Utah exported $13.6 billion, the only state in the country to double exports in the 5 years from 2006 to 2010. This represented a 31% increase over 2009. These are pretty remarkable figures and a great compliment to all of you, the businesses in this state and in this region, which are doing business on a global scale around the world. Last week's release of the U.S. monthly trade figures for March 2011 showed that Utah's monthly exports reached $1.6 billion, the highest monthly total on record for Utah, and 31% ahead of March of last year. Exports from Utah for the first quarter of this year exceeded $4.2 billion, which is also 21% higher than last year, which was a record-breaking year for Utah. This impressive growth attracted the attention of the current Director General of the U.S. and Foreign Commercial Service from Washington, D.C. He came out and visited us in Utah recently. He wanted to see what we were doing and how the state could be an example to the country in helping President Obama achieve our National Export Initiative goals to double exports again in the next 5 years. I believe one of the reasons our state has been able to accomplish this growth in exports is because we enjoy a very collaborative environment. Trade and economic growth are not political in Utah. They transcend politics. Everyone agrees that trade and growth are necessary for Utah's economy to grow and to succeed. In this same spirit of collaboration, we hold this conference today. And we're proud to partner in it as a team with the World Trade Center Utah, Lou Kramer, who's the CEO of that organization. We appreciate all that he does in helping us in our efforts to go global. We are equally proud of our partnership with the Governor's Office of Economic Development and Spence Eccles, who leads that for the governor. Spence is a remarkable leader whose vision is to see Utah lead the nation as the best performing economy and to be recognized as a premier global business destination. We are also grateful for the partnership and collaborative relationship we have with the U.S. Department of Commerce. Their help, advice, and support are critical to our efforts here in Utah to export more. Likewise, we appreciate the support of the Small Business Administration, their programs, and their local staff who go the second mile to help businesses grow in Utah. And Stan Nagano, we appreciate you and your staff and all you do for businesses in Utah. These organizations keep us on top of domestic and global issues and markets. And I do want to salute all of you, courageous business leaders, courageous business owners who have the entrepreneurial vision to look beyond the state's boundaries and beyond our national borders for new opportunities to expand and grow businesses globally. My commitment to you as President and CEO of ZionsBank is that we will support your efforts as you strive to increase your ability and competitiveness in doing business worldwide. Hosting this conference for the last 10 years is part of this commitment. Providing access to capital and the financial tools necessary to run an international business is another part of this commitment. A third is our plans to organize quarterly trade missions around the world in conjunction with the World Trade Center and the Governor's Office of Economic Development. These missions will be in addition to and complementary to the Governor's official trade mission. The goals of these trade missions will be to educate and open up new opportunities for Utah's businesses. On your table, you'll find a questionnaire, and on one side of that, we are asking you to mark the countries that you would like these trade missions to visit. Our approach to international business is holistic, providing local banking service along with international trade and foreign exchange products that you will need to be successful, as you will see in this video.
Every day, the number of factors impacting your business continues to grow. Consumer confidence, political unrest, exchange rates, gas prices, even Mother Nature throws a curveball at basic supply and demand. But you're not in it alone. Since 1873, ZionsBank has fulfilled the financial needs of businesses throughout periods of both prosperity and hardship. Our focus on building lasting relationships with our clients and maintaining our local roots has helped Zions continue to grow as a nationally respected bank. In 2010, Greenwich Associates, widely regarded as a premier banking consultancy, recognized ZionsBank as one of the nation's top banks for excellence in small business services, middle market lending, and treasury management. How have we achieved this success? People and innovation. Our business-savvy leaders understand the big-picture economy, but also know it's often the little details that determine profit and loss. We've built an innovative array of services and products tailored to the needs of you and your business. We are helping to stimulate our economy by making credit available to businesses. But more than that, we provide concierge-style services and dedicated relationship managers to facilitate customized commercial loans, accounts, and services. With more than $100 million of revenues each year, Sundance Catalog is large enough to utilize most of Zions' commercial banking services.
We pride ourselves on being a true tri-channel lifestyle brand. We mail catalogs into every state, essentially, have revenues from every state. We've been with Zions for 10 years. Before that, many other financial institutions. Dealing with Zions has been a 180 compared to some of the experiences we've had in the past. We quickly found ZionsBank not to just be a banking relation. They were truly interested in making sure that Sundance was successful, and they were true business partners in the ongoing success of Sundance.
Small businesses matter to ZionsBank. As an SBA preferred lender, ZionsBank streamlines the SBA loan application process to make it as simple and smooth as possible for small business owners. Zions has been the #1 provider of SBA loans in Utah for the past 17 years. In fact, in 2010, Zions approved more than 36% of the SBA loans in the state. And in Idaho, it has been ranked first for 9 consecutive years. Last year, it approved 29% of the loans in the SBA's Boise district. On the local level, Zions has built a suite of products to help businesses meet the unique needs of specific industries. And we've created powerful services to help support important growth sectors. Our Women's Financial Group, for example, helps women-owned businesses expand. Our Diverse Markets Group supports business owners striving for the American dream.
And I always usually say, if I'm going to get up and make a buck, might as well to make 5. I'm already up. You can only imagine that the first time when I sell 2 bags of beans at the farmer's market versus 65 employees and over $3.5 million in growth the last year. You really want to do business with someone that can grow with you, there's someone that understands who you are and listens to you to be able to grow together. Other ways, I mean, I'm just wasting my time. A bank is as important as the best employee that is in your field or the best customer that you have. ZionsBank is being one that has been interested on putting their money where their mouth is when it comes down to minorities, the small business, and the community in general.
Now topping over $1 million a year in revenues, Real Salt Lake has become the third leading seller of merchandise in all Major League Soccer. The team has taken advantage of Zion's innovative treasury management services that give businesses a competitive edge.
Evolution of technology. If you're not in it, you're not in it to win it. Being a 2009 MLS Cup champions, one of the objectives of the director of merchandise at Rio Tinto Stadium with Real Salt Lake is to be champions of service. And technology with ZionsBank allows us to achieve that. We're able to go out and touch our guests and not really worry about the infrastructure or technology, but really exceeding the guest expectations from a level of service. And ZionsBank complements that with credit card processing.
A growing number of businesses in the Intermountain West are actively working to expand their presence overseas. They realize that 70% of the world's purchasing power actually lies outside of the United States, and growing international exports is a crucial component to growing our local economies. That's why Zions plays an important leadership role in sponsoring trade missions to countries such as Mexico, India, and China. With the help of ZionsBank, your business can also connect to world markets. We've developed international trade skills and connections rivaled only by some of the world's largest banks. Zions has built a partnership with the U.S. Commercial Service, with offices in nearly 80 countries, which helps companies navigate customs procedures and market regulations to establish strategic partnerships and increase sales to global markets. Our international banking department provides a full range of services for many regional clients like Parker International, a food export company that does business in as many as 95 different countries every year.
They've had a great personal relationship with Zions. I think they've been fabulous to work with, and we work with them on the foreign exchange side, on the commercial loan side. We also use them in their trade finance, which is documentary collections and letters of credit. Currency hedging is extremely important to our bottom line because when we hedge currencies, it allows us to fix our profit margin on a specific transaction. If we don't do that, our profit margin can fluctuate significantly by fluctuations that occur in the currency.
Whether your business is growing overseas or expanding locally, ZionsBank can be your trusted partner. With our signature services, our innovative products, and our dedicated people, we are here to guide you, to work with you, and to grow with you.
It's now my pleasure to introduce to you our first speaker in today's conference. We are so fortunate and honored to have with us today Dr. Rebecca M. Blank, the Acting Deputy Secretary of the U.S. Department of Commerce. Dr. Blank in this role focuses on the management and governing policy for the department's 12 bureaus. In this assignment, she functions as Commerce's Chief Operating Officer, and as I calculate it, Dr. Blank is a senior person at the Department of Commerce with the departure of Secretary Locke. Dr. Blank has served as Secretary Gary Locke's principal economic advisor, as the Undersecretary of Economic Affairs, and where she ran the Economics and Statistics Administration. She was a senior fellow at the Brookings Institute and Dean of the Gerald Ford School of Public Policy at the University of Michigan. She's the author of several books, has taught at Northwestern University, was the director of the Northwestern University of Chicago Joint Center for Poverty Research, and has served on a number of boards and in a wide variety of advisory and professional roles. She is a renowned educator, a highly regarded author, an astute economist, a creative thinker, a visionary leader, and a gifted manager. She is a true humanitarian. She's a native of Missouri, a summa cum laude graduate in economics from the University of Minnesota, and she holds a PhD in economics from MIT. She is a remarkable person who has a significant influence on our economy and on our country. As Roger Porter put it, We hit the jackpot on getting Dr. Blank to come and speak to us today. We are honored to have you with us. We appreciate the help you and the Department of Commerce provide us, and we look forward to your remarks. Dr. Blank.